Well, Matt, ultimately, frustrating afternoon. What are your immediate reflections on this afternoon's game?
Yeah, certainly a frustrating afternoon. A very tough game, tough conditions. Wind is always the worst condition to play in. It's extremely strong up here today. We had it first half. Sometimes maybe better playing into it sometimes. And no real foothold, but it was no different for them, to be honest. We've had one moment with Omar in the first half, getting through from a goal kick. They've had one moment in the second half, Kay getting in from a goal kick. Apart from that, there's probably two other moments in the second half. They scored theirs, and unfortunately we missed our penalty.
You made three changes for this afternoon's game. Joe coming in at right back, Ali in the centre of mid, and Omar up front.
Yeah, it's just Eastie and Harry unfortunately not quite fit enough and ready to go for today's game. John Barrow was outstanding at right back last week, but he hasn't played in 2 and a bit months. For him to go two in a row in six days would have been too much of an ask for him to go again. As I said, bring Kizzy, who's obviously done so well for us, back in at right back was a sensible decision there. But it was good to see Ali Kenny back in the midfield and Omar and Tanter up front.
As you say, from the shelter of the stand here, it's only when you get out on the pitch you can see exactly how those conditions affected the match. Really tough conditions to play in today.
Yeah, as I say, the worst. We've had to move up here just so you can be heard. It's wind, strong wind going straight down the pitch, and then two competitive sides. They know what's at stake for them today. They win, they stay up. So it was always going to be a battle. It was always going to be on the first and onto the seconds and a set piece game. But we dealt with that very well. But as I say, it's just one moment where they got down the side of us and really scored at the far post. But we work our way back into the game over a couple of moments and get the penalty. But unfortunately, Rob can dispatch this week's one.
As you say, we had the conditions in the first half. And one clear shot, sighted goal with Omar maybe just trying to lob the goalkeeper, just went over the bar. We were just a little bit disappointed that despite the amount of possession we had, we didn't have more sighters at goal.
Yeah, we had quite a few set pieces and balls in the box, and it didn't quite bounce for us. But it's really hard to try and get any passages of play going to really carve it open. Yes, maybe we could have created a couple more chances, but I was reasonably happy with the first half performance. It was 0-0. We looked obviously the team in the ascendancy, but I knew it might suit us better playing into the wind. The ball as a centre half comes onto you a little bit quicker, so you can judge the flight easier. We're certainly a team who can play well on the counter attack and with the attacking players that we've got, and we certainly had moments where we got down the side of them and got crosses or balls into the box, but unfortunately we couldn't take one of those chances today.
Always a difficult place to come, Holker Street, not a particularly happy hunting ground for the U's over the years, but going in at half-time at 0-0 with, as you say, the conditions now against us in the second half, what was your overriding message to the boys at half-time?
That it was going to be a totally different game, and there's certainly a way you have to try and play with the wind, and I feel that there's a totally different way that you have to try and play against the wind in many different situations and scenarios. So it was just reiterating the points to the players of how it's going to be a different second half, and how we're going to try and play that to try and get the ball down, which is extremely difficult on days like today.
And as you say, for the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half, we did have a bit of a bombardment as they pushed forward, but held on well for that 20 minutes. And then the goal came, which obviously changed the mood. It was quite a confused situation immediately afterwards, because on a couple of occasions the game stopped this afternoon by the referee. One immediately after the game with the sending off for over celebration, which may have changed the game as well.
I believe it. I don't think it was over celebration. I think he said something to the referee, I believe. Oh. So he's got booked for one in the first half, and I believe he said something to the referee after the goal for the second one. That's what I'm led to believe anyway. So yeah, he then gets sent off. Yeah, and that was the first stoppage in the second half. And
no doubt about the penalty from where we were. I actually was watching the foul on Omar. It looked a clear foul from where we were sitting.
I actually didn't see it, to be honest. I followed the ball out to Will, and then Omar spun into the box, and I just caught him going down. So I haven't seen that back yet. So I'll take your word for it.
And as you rightly say, Rob has been superb from the spot this season. Law of averages. Good save from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's funny how football works sometimes. He misses the one neck last week, and we end up drawing 0-0 and we get a point. He puts that one in here and we draw 1-0 and we get a point, and we're a point worse off. So it's funny how it works sometimes, and Rob has taken so many crucial penalties for us since I've been manager, and unfortunately just missed the first one today.
And we had a lot of the ball after that, obviously with them down to 10 men, but them fighting for their lives. You could see, every tackle that was going in was being cheered by the home crowd here, and then We had a quite lengthy delay thereafter for about 4 or 5 minutes. Any idea what that was all about?
Yeah, there was an alleged racist comment to one of our players, and that's why there was a lengthy stoppage into the game. It's the first time that I've had that to one of my players, but I must say, as much as we're really disappointed with that, how the officials and Barrow, the safety officer, and how they dealt with the situation was superb, and the players are all fine in there.